Okay, it is patch day, and I have patch notes for you guys. We have the Season 0 Act 1 Beebo's Warped Tour patch for Supervive. I'm super excited about this, and I can't wait to share with you guys all the things I discover about this patch when I actually get to play the game. If you don't know me, my name is RealTime. I'm a DJ and gaming content creator, and I've been manning Supervive for the past 3 months. But I've been playing since early beta last year in 2024 in like March. If you guys like what you're seeing, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get started. So welcome to Season 0, our first season of theme content after open beta launch. As a note, we may not stick absolutely to this theme, but we think it's fun to have creative rappers, so here we are. Love that. But before I get to the fun stuff, since this is our first patch back from the holidays, we should talk about how things are going and where we're going with Supervive. First, we appreciate y'all playing and sticking around. Second, while things aren't perfect, we did see improvements over the holidays, as measured by hours played, especially by new players, which we can attribute to our experimental revival rule changes, ascending armor, and hunter mastery pass. We're going to continue making big changes. For those who don't know, before the holidays, they dropped an experimental resurgence mode in Supervive, and it's got a lot of mixed opinions. I'm not going to talk about my opinion on it. I still am kind of like on the fence on it, but this is about the new patch, so let's talk about new things. We also know not all of you will love all the changes we make, but we hope you agree that the current game as is simply not thriving, which means we need to take big swings rather than small ones. Love that. This is what open beta is for, so expect it to be very experimental as we try to make the game deeper and more engaging for all. Then it's on to a 1.0 launch when we like what we see. Now, for the content on this patch, for stability reasons, we had to prepare most of the patch before the winter holidays, so we haven't been able to act on all community feedback that's come up over the holidays. For example, we do want to do some balancing on the new revival rules, but since it's a more complex system, it's too risky to slam in without extensive testing. It's on our mind, however. Please just give us a bit to settle into our rhythm for the new year. Thanks. Love that. Love this dev team. Love that they stay in contact with us. Love that they give us reasoning for things, and all of our stuff doesn't go to deaf ears. Beebo. Now I'm not going to talk too much about Beebo. I don't have any prior experience to this patch with Beebo. There is a trailer video that describes all of Beebo's abilities, and I'm also going to make my own video on Beebo, so we're not going to go too deep into this, but Beebo does seem to have several different abilities that seem like a couple of other hunters put into them. You could see Void, you could see Bishop, you could see Brall or another melee character in the kit. Yeah, it seems like it's gonna be pretty cool, and I can't wait to make that video later when the patch comes out. For those who don't know, I am a Brall main. If you've played the game, you could see the nerfs for Brall coming out. Like, let's be honest, it was gonna happen. I was just super curious on what these changes were. I read a little bit of these patches before making this video. So I know some things, I don't know everything. So there's gonna be some things I'm just surprised about, and like, it's my initial reaction. We hear you that Brawl's window vulnerability and what is an opportunity are too fuzzy, so here's some changes to meaningfully increase those windows on his mobility. Calling out the re-addition of the knockback, one thing it did was automatically create space when Brall was spamming LMBs on you, which we think helps create space against him. His passive, Blazing Spirit, dramatically reduced the amount of empowerment Brall gets from dealing damage to creeps. I actually love that a lot, because if you knew what you were doing on Brall, you can keep yourself empowered by passively like hitting creeps as you're moving through the map. And on Brall, like, it doesn't really slow you down because you have 1, 2, 3 different ways in your kit to kind of like move quickly across the map. Caldera Molten Greatsword LMB. Damage has been reduced by 10%. Hitbox width pulled in by 30%. That's interesting. And then knockback has been re-added. Okay, that's interesting. So less of an area where like you can actually get hit by Brawl. Brawl gonna have to kind of get pretty close to you now in order to do a lot of damage, which I actually agree with. Face Seal Chain, which is his tether. Cooldown now begins countdown on second activation or chain break instead of when the ability is first activated. Chain duration reduced from 7 to 5.5 seconds. Okay. Flame Step, his shift is dash. Level 3 ability upgrade now gives less cooldown reduction from -3.5 to -2. I like that. And dodging shots gives less empowerment energy from 95 to 65. These aren't like super big swing changes on Brawl, but my personal opinion on Brawl, I think I've been saying for a minute, I don't think it's Brawl himself that's the issue. I think it's the items that he can get. Um, Usually you'll main Last Stand on Brawl, the Vampiric Blade. Um, that makes him healing and all that other stuff a little bit more unbearable. So I'm curious to see what this does in terms of how to play a Brawl, if he's still gonna feel good to Brawl players, if he's gonna feel good to people that go against Brawl and all that good stuff. So we'll see. All right, warped equipment. A common point of feedback we hear from players is they often choose the same evols over and over for equipment. We like to add some spice to the system and reward players for thinking on their feet. Blue tier equipment upgrades now have a fourth evolution choice, a warped evolution. Warped evolutions keep the base stats of the item but can roll a random passive from any other item in the game, and sometimes come with additional benefits. Interesting. I like that. Makes it a little bit dynamic. 75% chance your warped evolution has a passive from any other blue item. 20% chance your warped evolution comes with extra stats pulled from the evolution it got its passive from. 5% chance your warped evolution has a unique legendary passive. Currently, there are 3 legendary passives: Soul Stealer. If you know me, I love Soul Stealer and Endless Reaper. I think those are the best items in this damn game. Not gonna lie. If I can get Soul Eater without actually having to get Soul Eater, bro. Okay. Glider and Trailblazer. Don't think I'm familiar with the other two. Unless you're talking about like glider boots. Not familiar with those. But I like this warped equipment system. This seems nice. That I can't wait to try. Very interested to see what I get. Hopefully I get Soul Eater off the first game. All right, game systems, global shop. A big point of feedback we've heard is that gold feels inconsistently valuable, specifically because shops are inconsistently available, and aside from armor, it's hard to plan for what kind of inventory they have. I can see it's hard to plan for what inventory they have. I personally, the shops, I'm always able to get, me and my team, we're always able to get to a shop. We're always able to get to a shop. But I'm not gonna deny somebody else's experience. That could be them. That's great. We also want farming gold to be an early game skill or strategy that you can focus on in order to get better at the game. So we're taking our first step with the global shop. This might not be the final shape of how we want to use gold as part of the strategic layer of Supervive, but let's try it out. Okay. You can now shop anywhere. Okay. Default keybond is via the open global shop. Upon purchase, a delivery drop pod will be issued and sent down after you request your items. So, like, kind of like the drops that happen in the world normally. Okay, normal time to drop is 20 seconds, which gets reduced in the late game. Okay. I'm I'm pretty sure there should be like a global system that goes off if you're doing a shop. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Items purchased by allies while your team has an incoming delivery pod will be added to the pod. Okay. Every match, 12 powers are rolled to be offered in limited quantities: 8 common/uncommon powers, 3 rare powers, and 1 exotic power. Okay. The global shop has a smaller set of core items you can always purchase: Hypervive, good; green and blue armor, good; an armor repair kit that repairs 1500 HP, good; and a mobile respawn beacon, good. I like that. I'm curious what the pricing on some of these things are. Does it change from what it has normally been in the shop? Is a little bit higher? Is a little bit lower? Interesting. Normal shops no longer sell equipment or raw beans. Okay. Each region's shop has different default powers that you can reliably find. Each region, like the POIs or the different Okay, okay. I like that. That's good. I'm very interested to see how this plays out because this is something I haven't known about at all. UAV sound pulses. The main audience for this change was to teach newer players a skill set that's a little foreign in the top-down camera setting. Scouting for sound. Shout out to the music mobile gamers. Okay, I don't know the reference to that, but okay. um, and because it's a new behavior, we had to go a little more heavy-handed. On the other side, we can hear veteran players that this change felt like too much free information. I agree. And that it invalidated a skill set you'd been building over years of playtesting. Now that new players are adjusting using the system, we're toning it down as well as hitting the most egregious issues where pulses were pinging for very quiet sounds very far away. I agree. I feel like there there was no, I almost want to say there was no privacy, but there was no like skill in the pulses for real, because like you could see everything even if like you're super far. Like I could tell if a team was fighting, you know, when they started fighting. I can hear the knocks from the other side of the map. Like I yeah. um Max range for pulses have been reduced by 20%. Pulses within that range will no longer show if they're at the lower end of attenuation range. Okay, I like that. As I'd have to see how this feels in game and what it looks like in game, but I like that offer. Great job. All right, map objectives, legendaries, and exotics. Let's see. With these changes, we're trying to inject more variability in the early game strategy of Supervive while also reducing the amount of exotics floating around in the end game, particularly at high MMR, and adding more clarity and knowability when it comes to the high end rarities. Okay, there's now a maximum of 8 to 4 exotics per game, except if modified by a storm shift. Each game, these 4 exotics will be, okay, it's only 4. Each game, these 4 exotics will spread across 2 exotics in evil chest, so the red PvP chest, 1 dropped by a first night boss, and 1 is a global shop purchase. So these PvP chests and the boss and the global shop are going to be highly sought out. I can see people fighting over them. Honestly, I can see people fighting over them. For clarity, we'll list out the ways you can pursue legendary and exotic drops per game. 2 evil chests, each contain an exotic item. As a reminder, if you get an evil key and both exotic items are claimed, the evil key will point toward the closest player with an exotic. 2 night bosses. These will both spawn on the first night and will show their possible reward on the map. I like this. I said this a couple weeks ago that I feel like the bosses, like the map should like say what the bosses have, right? So you know if like a team is going for one, or like you know what exotic is on the field, because not knowing what exotic is on the field when you get to a team that has one is like daunting, because like say a team has blink on void, like I don't know that until the void blinks on me and like oh, and then it's just done, you know? Armor shredder is like hard to fight against. Like you know in a game somebody might have armor shredder, but like you don't know until like they actually have it and they're shooting you, you know? So I actually like that. One spawns with an exotic and one spawns with a legendary. Okay. Abyssal Vaults. A special vault that holds an Abyssal Scale or Abyssal Eye legendary power can no longer spawn Abyssal Fang, which is now considered an exotic. Huh. Okay. Train now always holds a legendary item at the start of the game. Legendary airdrop, a high value airdrop that lands on the map at the start of the day. Okay. Hot zones. Randomly selected zones that hold 2 or 4 legendary armors can now also very rarely roll exotic armors. Okay. I like that. Item rarities. Exotic. Replicator Power Shuffler Yearbook. Endless Reaper, Fate Rewinder, Armor Shredder, Mega Cluster Nuke, Blinkstone, Team Frog Jump, Guardian Archangel, Delicate Disguise, Abyssal Fang. Oh, they're just listing them. Legendary, Mobile Beacon, 25,000 gold, Deploy Base Camp Power, Glider Updraft, Wisp Magnet, Single T5 Armor, Mega Shard, Massive Moon will now give you a basic dagger if you die and lose it. Soul Stealer. All right. Okay. Wait, Soul Stealer is a legendary item now instead of exotic? Okay. Okay. Successful non-perfect zone lockpicks will now spawn an obelisk that deals half normal damage to the vault upon being destroyed. I need to see what that is. Okay. All right. No changes to day/night one revival rules for now. Um, At a high level, our new revival rules are leading to new and solo players being able to survive longer in games, participate in combat, and thereby experience more of this session. As a result, we saw new and solo players sticking around with Supervive longer, which is obviously a good thing. We also check our survey results, and so far, those responses are also positive. So overall, we like the change. That said, no system is perfect, and we know there are improvements we can make. Resurgence is just a deep system that we didn't feel confident putting in changes with limited testing for this patch. So this is context for why no changes were made for now. Okay, I can deal with that. I think people are starting to learn how to deal with resurgence, which is really good. Um, let's see. Stealth. One off stealth effects like Bushwhacker and Ethereal Smoke are now removed on Dash. Okay. Active stealth effects like Mana Cloak are turned off on Dash. Okay. Always on effects like Scuba, Delicate Disguise, and Night Soul are suppressed for 4 seconds on Dash. Okay, I like that. So you have to walk around, so you can essentially like just zoom throughout the map without being seen. Okay. Powers, Dimensional Tunnel, Deployable Fan, Instant Fortress. Okay. Power Shuffler can no longer reroll a power to Replicator. Abyss Specialist now has an internal cooldown of 30 seconds. Ooh. Okay. Storm Shifts. Unstable portals. Two-way portals will randomly spawn at the edges of the playable space for a limited amount of time. Okay. Berry Season. We know that. The frequency of berries spawned in bushes across the map dramatically increased. The amount of that berries heal and restore is also increased substantially. I like that. It makes it kind of like a less useless Storm Shift, like that. The map. There are now many warp anomalies found on the map. Step into one to see what happens. Academy now has a giant warp anomaly that will teleport you anywhere but there. Okay. Academy now has new swamp territory to its right, adding a new combat space and making it so Academy is in play from session to session more often. Scavenger Bay has been expanded into 3 discrete, more grokkable combat spaces. Okay, we have to see what this is. This looks good. Okay, progression. As mentioned in our fireside chat last year, we want the Battle Pass to be a generous progression track that rewards you for playing. So we're doing a few things to dial up the good vibes. The first is letting you go infinite through what you earn in the Battle Pass alone, as well as giving free-to-play players the ability to get a Battle Pass with enough time and then go infinite. What does go infinite mean? We also don't want you to feel like you owe us your time if you purchase a Battle Pass, so we're introducing a system called Juice Experience, where if you're behind the curve of Battle Pass progression, you'll get an XP buff for your games played to help you catch up. I like that. That's nice. Season 0 comes with our first Battle Pass. You can purchase a Battle Pass for 1,000 Theorycraft coins or 305 points. So you can get it free if you have, say, like 2 level 6 mastery on hunters. That's good. We also have added VP to the free portion of the Battle Pass, so players can eventually buy a Battle Pass through regular play if they choose. Clock it! Love that! Love that! I love free stuff. I love free stuff. When you are behind the curve of the Battle Pass progression, as in behind the average player in progression, you'll get a buff. Okay, right? They mentioned that. Progression trackers and seasonal missions. New progression trackers have been added to the lobby UI. Just above your progression tracker, you'll see a button that will take you to Season 0's season missions, which are limited time event missions that grant you exclusive call signs and cosmetic rewards. I like that. You can obviously see that they're learning from other games as well too. I like having a battle pass that you can get for free. There's an option to grind the game enough to get it for free. You don't always have to pay for it. Like, I love things like that. All right, now the big boy ranked. For open beta launch, we saw folks climbing much faster than anticipated in terms of their rank. So we're implementing a few changes to clamp down on inflation while keeping the rank climb focused on the right actions. Regarding that solo player bonus, we know it's sometimes rough out there as a solo player running into pre-mades, so we're trying a light solution because splitting the queues or adding pre-made restrictions adds another set of challenges. I agree. Finally, for the shift on placement versus elimination points distribution, today we think there's not enough emphasis on mid to late game strategy and want that to have a larger impact on your rank progression. So we're shifting the values to reflect this philosophy. The big danger if we go too far is that ratting becomes too prevalent of a way to climb, but we'll be keeping an eye on this, like that they're looking at. There'll be full ranked reset with this patch. So in like 3 hours, I'm gonna be bronze again. Okay. This ranked season will last 3 months until the end of March. Love that. I think the ranked being kind of like extended, like inflated the numbers more than they needed to. Yeah. System changes. Solo players now gain an extra +5 rank points regardless of placement. Rank points required to progress between tiers have been increased from 100 to 200. Ooh, so now you gotta work. Now you gotta really work. Okay. And you won't fall out of tiers as easily. I like that. Rank point anti-cost will increase by 1 point for every 200 points you have at Grandmaster Plus. Love that. As a reminder, last patch we changed rank points. As a reminder, last patch we changed rank point changes from kills to team eliminations so that placements matter more than kill farming for climbing. Below master rank, you will get an extra rank point bonus if your team gets a lot of kills but no team elims that game. We rebalanced the distribution of rank points between team eliminations and placement to weigh more toward placement. Think 60-40 where it was previously 50-50. I do like that. There were games I was personally having where like we would have like 4 some odd kills and like be like second place and still like -5. Like that doesn't feel good. You know, if the point of a BR is to be the last one standing. And if you're one of the last ones standing, you should be rewarded for that. You shouldn't be rewarded for ratting, but if you play the game that the way the game is supposed to be played and you have a couple kills in like a second place or something, you should get like a good amount of points from that. You shouldn't be incentivized to like run at people all day. Like that's not the point of the game. So I do like these changes. Ranked rewards. Oh, I saw that little thing there. Throughout this season, we'll be offering ranked rewards and methods for tracking avatars. As you progress through the ranks, you'll unlock avatars that have borders to reflect your highest earned rank. You'll be able to equip and use any rank you want via the avatar selector. Okay, I'm gonna see what these avatars are like. I think we're gonna get a UI change, no? If they have to add something like that. Like they're gonna add like an extra tab, maybe? Glider. At the end of season 0, April will be granting a custom glider based on your highest rank achieved. Love that. Leaderboards. You can now filter rank leaderboards by region or friends. Now we could do number 1 NA, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. All right. Oh, we've reached pretty much the end of the patch notes. Now, everyone likes to be on voice, and a part of accommodating for that needs to be a better chat system. So we're clearing things up. Messages from your group or party will now always play a unique sound when a message is sent or received. Love that. Sound should be louder. Love that. Pings send contextual messages to chat. Love that. A variety of system messages like day-night cycle messages have been removed to reduce spammies. Love that. Miscellaneous quality of life. Fix about the allow drop items to be duped by other players. Yes, I remember seeing this person say this, I think in Tom's chat or Nidhogg's chat. And I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? I guess it was an actual thing. You can now emote in the pregame lobby to the entire lobby. Oh, God. Practice mode now has exotic powers and souls. Thank you. Social requests. Invites and requests to join can now be viewed from the end of the game score while spectating if fully eliminated. You can now level up your equipment by pressing Alt plus 1 through 4. Love that. Okay, that's the end of the patch notes. I think overall this is a pretty good patch. I can't wait to play through a lot of this. I like what I'm seeing. I like it until I don't. You know, I think that's a chance that you should give any development team, especially like when it's a smaller game and a smaller studio. Like things until you don't. Like have experience with the actual game and the changes before, you know, you say, I hate this, or, you know, you have suggestions for change. Because you never know, the actual way that you play the game might make you change your thoughts on it. But thank you guys for tuning into this video. I know this was a longer video. I do appreciate anybody that has watched this, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video, which will be a Beebo video. Peace.